So if you're completely new to starting an Etsy shop or even opening an Etsy account, then you're going to want to start right here at the very beginning with opening your Etsy account. If you already have an Etsy shop going, or if you've already signed up to get your own Etsy account, then feel free to move further down and head to the more advanced section of the course. But in this section, I just want to get it so that if you haven't even taken the first step of creating an Etsy account, that we can get you up and running right away. So the first thing you're going to want to do is head over to Etsy.com and click on Sell on Etsy, which is in the top corner. When you're there, you're going to want to hit Open Your Etsy Shop. And you're going to want to make sure that you're on register and that you just fill in your details. So once you've filled in all of your basic details, you're just going to want to hit the register button. Once you've created your Etsy account, we're going to need to sort out all of the preferences that you're going to need for your overarching shop, which you can do right here. So the first thing you're going to need to do is make sure that your shop language, your country, and your shop currency, so what you want to advertise the price of your products to be, whether you want it to be in dollars or pounds, you're going to want to make sure that you've got that down here. Then you're just going to want to choose out of this little section here which of these best describes you. So for me, I've put that I sell part-time but hope to sell full-time in the future, which is actually what I did. So once you click save and continue, you're going to want to name your shop. Now, a huge mistake that I made when I first created my very first shop on Etsy, which has managed to do well over time, but it would have just been so much easier if I had took this in mind, is that use your shop name to advertise what you are trying to sell. So one of my shops that I have on Etsy has a name that literally describes nothing about itself. It's actually quite hard to write, so I think that loses me quite a lot of customers who can't remember the name of my shop to type it in when they want to find me again on Etsy. And also it pretty much gives zero indication of what I sell in my shop. I know now that that was a big mistake, and if I could have my time again, I would have gone back and named my shop something that is associated with what I'm trying to sell. If you're thinking about expanding in the future into things like drop shipping products like mugs and tote bags, or just art prints in general in a physical format, then maybe the word printable might not be perfect for you, but definitely things like art and paper would be perfect for your Etsy shop. So in the end, I've decided with this kind of mock-up shop that I've created that a name like Paper Pretty Art would be really good. And then you need to check its availability. This one is available, but if it hadn't have been available, Etsy would have popped up some automatic options for you to pick from that are quite similar to what you've chosen. So if there's any of those that you fancy, but really stick to something that represents either home decor or art prints or design, so that your customers can associate your brand much easier with the products that you sell. So once you've chosen the name, the next thing that Etsy is going to ask you to do is to start stocking up your Etsy shop. Now, the one thing I don't want you to do is start panicking and thinking that you have to stock up your shop right when you're introduced to your Etsy account, because I personally think it's just so much better to set up your shop in kind of a template format and then go back and you can create the branding and the designs and everything's cohesive to begin with. So what I've actually done for you here is in the section below this, I've created a kind of mock-up of a listing, because you need to add at least one listing in this stock up section before you can move on into the next steps of creating your Etsy account. So if you just go ahead and add in the template image and the template description and extras that I have for you down the bottom, then don't panic about having to stock up your shop right now. Nobody is going to find your shop the minute that you open it. No one's going to rush into your store thinking they're going to find something and leave. You really do have time to play around and get the branding and the products that you want to sell right in your Etsy shop. So go ahead and just add the template listing here, and then I'll see you in the next section. So once you have filled out just the dummy template of your kind of initial art print, then if you just click save and continue, then it will just set it up as that being the first item that you have in your shop. Now don't worry, you're not going to keep it. It's just a quick way of getting you to the next step so you can complete your Etsy account and we can actually get into the process of creating a really beautiful art printable shop. So once you've added your template listing, just click on save and continue. And then you'll just want to pick how you're going to get paid. So every time that you make a sale, where you're going to send it to. So you'll want to just fill in your bank details. So once you've filled in your details, Etsy will just ask you to go ahead and confirm that you are who you say you are through your email account. And as soon as you've done that and you've clicked on the button, you'll end up here, which is the brand new beginning of your Etsy shop. This is where it's all going to start. This is where it's all going to build. And this is literally the home of your income for the next however long that you decide to keep and grow and build your Etsy shop. So well done for doing this. Well done for taking the leap and setting this up. I know it feels like perhaps a really small step, taking that leap to setting up your Etsy account, but it really isn't. Without this, there will be no passive income, no growing your online business. And so what you've done right now is the start of it all. So congratulations, you are officially on the Etsy platform and ready to start selling. So I'll see you in the next step of the course.